Hi guys, my name is Catherine and I am back with another video. Today I'm going to be talking about my December TBR. It's going to be part 1. And you guys, I'm going to be reading 21 books this month, which is going to be crazy because it is the Christmas time of the year. But none of my books have to do with Christmas. All of them are mystery slash thrillers. And the first section of books I'm going to be reading are going to be by Karin. I finished reading her Grant County series and now moving on to Will Trent series. You guys, I'm so excited. So this is how this video is going to work. I'm going to read you the back of the book and we're going to talk about it a little bit and then I'm going to move on. Okay? So let's get started. The first book is called Cryptic. And let's see what it says. It says, from Atlanta's wealthiest suburbs to its stark inner city housing projects, a killer has crossed the boundaries of wealth and race, and the people who are chasing him must cross these boundaries too. Among them is Michael Ormwood, a veteran detective whose marriage is hanging by a thread, and these arguments and explosive temper threatening his career, and Angie Pulaski, a beautiful vice cop who was once Michael's lover before she became his enemy. But to both of them, neither player has entered the game. A loser ex-con who has stumbled upon the killer's trail in the most complex of ways, who may be the key to breaking the case wide open. In this gritty, gripping firecracker of a novel, the author of the best-selling Grant County series, Georgia, breaks thrilling new ground, weaving together threads of a complete multi-story with the skills of a master craftsman. Packed with body-bending switchbacks, swearing psychological suspense and human emotion, Cryptic ramps up the tension once revelations at a time as it races to the shattering, unforgettable climax. This is Cryptic, and I am super excited to read this book. It sounds amazing. This will be my first Will Trent novel, and there are out of 10 books. So the second one is called Fractured. This one, it says with its granite homes and tree-lined streets, Ange Park was one of Atlanta's most desirable neighborhoods, but in one glaming mansion in a teenager's lavish bedroom, a girl has been savagely murdered, and in the hallway her terrified mother stands, aimed shattered glass, having killed her daughter's attacker with her bare hands. Detective Will Trent of the Georgia Bureau of Investigations is there to do a political favor, but the murder site belongs to the Atlanta Police Department. But Trent soon sees something that the cops are missing. Something in the trail of blood, in a mixture of forensic evidence, and in the eyes of the shell-shocked mother. Within minutes, Trent is taking over the case and adding another to it. He is sure that the other teenage girl is missing, and the killer is on the loose. Armed with only fleeting clues, teaming with a female cop who has her own personal reasons for hating him, Trent has enemies all around, and a gut-wrenching feeling that this case, which started in the best of homes, is cutting quick and deep through the ruins of a perfect lives broken wide open, where human demons emerge with a vengeance. So that is Fractured. And the next book is going to be called Undone. And this one, it says, this one has Sarah Linton in it. She was in the Grant County novel, our series. So it says, in a trauma center of Atlanta's busiest hospital, Sarah Linton treats the city's poor, wounded, and the unlucky. Find refuge from the tragedy that rocked her life in Grant County. Then, in an instant, Sarah is thrust into a frantic police investigation, coming face to face with a tall, driven detective and his quiet female partner. In Undone, three unforgettable characters from Karin Slaughter's New York best-selling time novels, Faithless and Fractured, collide for the first time, entering an electric race against the clock and a duel with unspeakable human evil. In the backwoods of Atlanta, where Sarah's patient was found, local police have set up their investigation, but the Georgia Bureau of Investigations Detective Will Trent doesn't wait for the go-ahead from his boss. He plunges through the police tape, through the fluttering woods, and single-handedly exposes a hidden house of horrors. Then he finds another victim. Wrestling the case away from the local police chief, Will and his partner Faith Mitchell, a woman keeping explosive secrets of her own, are called into related investigation. Another woman has been snatched, for the two cops out on the hunt, for the doctor trying to bring her patient back to life. The truth hits like a hammer. The killer's torture chamber has been found, but the killer is still at work. In the latest suspense masterpiece, Karin Slaughter waves together the powerful human stories of characters as real as they are complex and unforgettable. At the time, she has crafted a work of dizzying storytelling and spine-tingling mystery, as three people with their own wounds and their own secrets, all that who stand between a madman and his next criminal. Undone. I will gladly love this book, I think. I pretty much liked all of Karin Slaughter's Grant County series. There was one book I didn't care for, but that was the content. This one is called Broken, and I think someone says they're in Grant County in this one. So it says, when a special agent, Will Trent, arrives in Grant County, he finds the police department determined to protect its own, and far too many unanswered questions. About a prisoner's death, he doesn't understand why Officer Lena Adams is hiding secrets from him, and he doesn't understand the role in the death of Grant County's popular police chief. He doesn't understand why the man's widow, Dr. Sarah Linton, needs him now more than ever to help her crack this case. While the police force investigates the murder of a young woman pulling from a frigid lake, Trent investigates the police force, putting pressure on Adams just when she's already about to crack. Caught between two complicated and demanding women, trying to understand Linton's passionate distrust of Adams and the fact surrounding Chief Tolliver's death and the explosive of the inner town that will unleash a case filled with explosive secrets and encounter a thin blue line that can be murderous if crossed. Spellbinding and kingly paced, Broken is Karin Slaughter at her best. There is an unforgettable story of raw emotions, dangerous attempts, the deadly and layered game of betrayal, and a man determined to expose the most painful of human truths, no matter how deeply they're hidden or how devastating. That is Broken. The next book is called Fallen, and this one says there is no police training stronger than a cop's intuition. Faith Mitchell's mother isn't answering her phone. Her front door is open. There are There's blood stains above the doorknob. Everything Faith learns in the academy goes out the window when she charges into her mother's house, gun drawn, sees a man's dead body in the laundry room, a hostage situation in the bedroom. What she doesn't see is her mother. When the hostage situation turns deadly, Faith is left with too many questions. She needs the help of her partner, Will Trent, and a trauma doctor, Sarah Linton, to get some answers. But Faith isn't just a cop anymore. She's also a witness and a suspect. To find her mother, Faith will have to cross the thin blue line, bring the truth to light, and or bury it forever. Fallen. Okay, and the next book is Criminal, and I'm kind of super excited to read this one. It says, Will Trent is a brilliant agent with the Georgia Bureau of Investigations. Newly in love, he is beginning to put his difficult past behind him. Then a local college student goes missing. Will is explicitly kept off the case by his supervisor and mentor, Deputy Director Amanda Wagner. Will cannot fathom Amanda's motivations until two of them literally collide in an abandoned orphanage. They both have been drawn to for different reasons. Decades before, when his father was imprisoned for murder, that was Will's home. It appears that the case that launched Amanda's career 40 years ago has suddenly come back to life, and it involves the long-held mystery of Will's birth and parentage. Now these two dauntless investigators will each other to face down demons from the past if they are to prevent an even greater terror from being unleashed. Criminal. The next one is called Unseen, and this one, it says, Will Trent is a Georgia Bureau of Investigations agent working undercover in Macon, Georgia, posing as Billy Black, a scary ex-con who trails an air of violence wherever he goes. The cover has worked and has caught the eye of a wary little drug dealer who thinks he might be an useful ally. But there's a problem. Cut off from the support of the woman he loves, Sarah Linton, Will finds his demons catching up with him. Although she has no idea where Will has gone or why, Sarah herself has come to Macon because of a cop shooting. Her stepson Jared has been gunned down. Suddenly, without even knowing it, Sarah finds herself involved in the same case that Will is working. With danger whirling around both of them, a novel of fierce intensity, shifting allegiance, and shocking twists, Unseen pits detectives, lovers, and enemies against one another in an unforgettable standoff between right courage and the deepest evil. That is Unseen. Then the next book is called The Kept Woman, and it says with the discovery of a murder at an abandoned construction site, Will Trent, the Georgia Bureau of Investigations, is brought in on a case that becomes much more dangerous when the dead man is identified as an ex-cop. Suddenly, studying the body, Sarah Linton, the GBI's newest medical examiner and Will's lover, realizes that the excessive blood loss doesn't belong to the corpse. The bloody footprints leading away from the scene indicates that there is another victim, a woman who has vanished and who will die soon if she isn't found. Will is already compromised because the site belongs to the city's most popular citizen, a wealthy, powerful, and politically connected, and a man who already's gone away with rape, despite Will's efforts to put him away. When the evidence links Will's troubled past to the case, the consequences will tear through his life, wrecking Will from and everyone around him, including his colleagues, family, and friends, and even the suspects he pursues. The Kept Woman. So the next book is called The Last Widow, and there are 3 kind of different synopses, but they kind of like all link together, so it shows in the back. So it says, a mysterious kidnapping. On a hot summer night, a scientist from the Center of Disease Control is grabbed by an unknown assailant and in a shopping center parking lot. The authorities are desperate to save the doctor, who vanishes in thin air. A devastating explosion. 1 month later, the serenity of a sunny afternoon is shattered by the boom of a ground-shaking blast, followed by another seconds later. One of the Atlanta's busiest and most important neighborhoods has been bombed. The locals of the Emory University, 2 major hospitals, and the FBI field office and the CDC. And it says an enemy. A medical examiner, Sarah Linton, and her partner, Will Trent, an investigator with the Georgia Bureau of Investigations, race to the scene, and in the heart of the deadly conspiracy that threatens to destroy thousands of innocent lives, with the assailants abducting Sarah, Will goes undercover to save her and to prevent a massacre, putting his own life on the line for the woman and the country he loves. This one sounds very intense. And a lot of Karin Slaughter books, her stories are intense, but this one sounds like even more intense. Okay, and then the last book so far in the series, she's coming out with another book, but I think it's a standalone book. And then she said that she's going to do another Will Trent one in 2022, she said. So this one is the other one. The Silent Wife. So it says, investigating the murder of a prisoner during a riot in a state penitentiary, GBI investigator Will Trent is confronted with disturbing information. One of the inmates claims that he is innocent of a brutal attack for which he has always been the prime suspect. The man insists that he was framed by the corrupt law enforcement team led by Jeffrey Tolliver, and the real corporate I can't even say it. I can't even. Okay, is still out there. A serial killer who has systematically been preying on women across the state for years. If Will reopens the investigation, it implies that the dead police officer with a hero representation of wrongdoings, the convict is willing to provide the information GBI needs about the riot murder. Only days ago, another woman was viciously murdered in a state park in northern Georgia. Is it a fluke, or could it be a serial killer on the loose? As Will Trent digs into both crimes, it becomes clear that he must solve the cold case in order to find answers. Yet nearly a decade has passed. Time for memories to fade, witnesses to vanish, evidence to disappear, and lies to become truth. But Will can't crack either mystery without the help of the one person he doesn't want to involve: his girlfriend and Jeffrey Tolliver's widow, medical examiner Sarah Linton. When the past and present begin to collide, Will realizes that everything he values is at stake. Yep, that's it. That is The Silent Wife. That is one of the last books in the Will Trent series, and I'm excited to read all of these amazing books, you guys. So, as I said, I am reading 21 books this month. I am going to try and do individual book book review videos, because I want to try and do Vlogmas this year, and I'm going to try and do all of that. So as always, guys, please like and subscribe to my channel. If you guys have any questions, please comment down below, and you guys have a great and safe day. Bye.